Edison, right? He failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. He didn't just see those failures. He saw them as steps towards success. Yes, you'll face setbacks. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of it. What's going on, YouTube family? It's your boy Mike, the businessman, and I got another video for you guys. All right, guys, I want to talk about how to build up your credit the right way, right? I'm going to juxtapose two different scenarios, right? People that build their credit on sand and people that build their credit on a solid foundation. All right, let's jump right into it, guys. All right, number one, guys, we're going to talk about how you can build your credit on sand. And a lot of you guys watching this video, you probably follow this path, all right? Now, how does it start, all right? Most likely, probably your credit is in the low 500s, 400s, 600s, whatever it is, right? Credit's not very good. Probably have a bunch of negatives on there. You don't want to, maybe you've tried credit repair, but unfortunately it didn't work out for you, or you just didn't sign up with a good credit repair company. So you didn't get much traction, all right? And then, so now you guys went out and you started to, so to speak, put lipstick on the pig, right? You started to try to cover all the blemishes in your credit. How? You start going to get all these trade lines, right? Maybe you're getting added to somebody's credit card as an authorized user to boost up your points, right? And even if you'd even taken off some of the negatives on there, right? Maybe you barely even have any credit. You only have like a $500 credit card, but now you're being added to your mama's credit card, and maybe she has a $20,000 credit card, or you bought one online and you got added to some ghost person's credit card, right? You have no idea who the person is. You're on their credit cards, right? You did several of those. You went out there and you purchased a lot of these trade lines like Credit Strong or whatever for maybe 10,000, 15,000. So you've got a lot of all of these artificial trade line products on your credit, and now your score all of a sudden though jumps up, right? So now your score went from 400 or 500, now you're in the high 600s, now you're even in the 700s. Some people even get as high as 800 following this process, right? Where you're buying all these trade lines and all of this stuff to kind of manipulate your score and get it up to where you want it at, right? You've got some age trade lines to show age on your credit too. You're doing rent reporters and all kinds of stuff, right? All the stuff the gurus post online, you've done all of them to artificially inflate your score up there, right? On the business side, you've gone out there and you've done all the vendor accounts, right? You went through the Uline, the Granger, and all of them. You worked their way through that whole system, the net 30s. And for those of you guys that don't know, that's a process people go through to kind of beef up their credit reports, right? The business credit profiles. You go out there and you go get credit lines with businesses like Uline and Granger, and you buy all these household supplies and bulk water and things like that from them, and you have to pay it back within a certain period of time. They call it net 30 because they give you 30 days to pay that back off. So as long as you pay it off in 30 days before the 30-day mark, they supposedly report to your business credit, right? You want to have several of those hitting on your business credit to establish your business credit scores, paydex scores, and all of that. So a lot of times people will sign up for like 6 of these accounts, 7, 10 of these accounts, right? And be using them, gas cards and things like that, right? So you're doing all these things to prop up your business credit, and you're doing all this stuff on your personal too to prop up your personal credit. Now, supposedly, now you have your paydex score on the business side, you have it on your personal side too, you have an 800 on your personal. But now that's scenario number one, right? Scenario number two is a person that, maybe they cleaned up their credit, maybe they had some negatives. So we're all starting off at the same place, right? Either negatives or no credit, right? So this person also had negatives on there. They went through credit repair. It might have taken a while, especially if you're not doing any of the hacks, all right? Maybe the person in the first scenario, they went through some of these gurus that were selling them, all these credit sweeps where you claim human trafficking and they wiping off your credit report. So you just wiping things off, just wiping everything. That's how the people in the first scenario got there too, right? I forgot to mention that part. They did all the illegal sweeps out there on the internet that could get them in trouble later on, right? They don't care because they just want that temporary relief right now. They want that. They want to ease that pain immediately. They don't mind going through down the dark corners of the internet and paying several thousands of dollars for these scammy solutions, right? But then the other person, right? They went through the credit repair process where everything is factually being disputed using legitimate means, USC laws, proper laws, right? And attacking all of them, consumer laws, right? They went through the right process. It took them a while, maybe 6 months to a year. Then eventually, a lot of those negatives started to fall off, right? The collections, charge-offs fell off, right? And then, instead of buying trade lines and all that stuff, they actually went to go get their own primary accounts, right? They actually applied to their local credit unions, their local regional banks, and their local tier 1 banks, right? Asking for credit. Maybe started off with a secured credit card, but then got that unsecured after maybe 6 months to a year, all right? And then worked their way up, maybe they went through Navy Federal, got one of their personal credit cards, and maybe it started off with a $4,000 or $5,000 limit, and then every 90 days they were applying through the app for a credit limit increase, and then slowly kept having that increase, getting those credit limit increases until all of a sudden one day they've got $20,000, $30,000 in personal credit, and now they're doing this with multiple banks, all right? Now you're dating these banks, right? You went out there, maybe you put $100 into this bank account, $100 into this bank account, and then you circle back maybe after a week or two to ask them for any funding, ask them if they can approve you for any of their personal credit cards, and they said yes because they see that you're rocking with them, you're doing business with them. They will also reciprocate, all right? Banks are in the business of lending money. That is the primary way that they make money, all right? Once you give them deposits, they lend out your deposits. They're in the business of lending, all right? So that's a route that you guys went, all right? You started to date these banks, several banks at the same time. You started amassing this nice foundation of personal credit cards with high limits, all right, very high limits. And then eventually, one day, you discovered the world of business credit, and it blew your mind. You couldn't believe that you could go out there and go get $50,000 to $100,000 to $1 million in business credit, and it never shows up on your personal credit, all right? It's more lenient. These business credit products, they let you might even if you're late for a few days or a week, it's not the end of the world. It's not destroying your personal credit, all right? The banks will work with you because they see that you're using the funds for legitimate business, all right? It blew your mind when you got exposed to that world and you started to apply. And then to your greatest surprise, the first time you even applied, now at this point, your personal credit is over a 700. And you go to these banks and go apply for a business credit product, and they approved you. You couldn't believe it. You couldn't believe it off the rip. They doubled your highest on your Navy Federal personal credit card. You had $50,000. The bank out of the gate gave you a $70,000 credit card. You couldn't believe that. They gave you a $100,000 business line of credit. You blew your mind. You're getting several no-doc products from a lot of these regional banks. This one's giving you $50K no-doc. This one's giving you a $50K no-doc product. You can't believe all of this going on. Why do we have two different scenarios between both profiles, right? All right. The latter people, they went through the proper way. They didn't skip no corners, right? They put in that work initially, all right? They knew the value of developing their personal credit. Because guess why they were getting approved for all those business credit products? Because they built their personal credit and they were able to leverage their personal credit to personally guarantee on the business side. The banks want you guys to PG, all right? When you PG, they approve you guys, all right? They'll approve you guys. You don't need to cut corners. Now, the first set of people, on the other hand, they kept their personal credit trash. They wouldn't take the time to build it up. They want instant gratification. They want the shortcuts. They're the greasy ones that are in all the corners of the internet, sliding into people's DMs, asking if they sell business trade lines for $100,000 or $200,000, or you sell a credit sweep so I can wipe off all the negative stuff that I've done. I want a clean slate so I can go do some more bad, right? Those types of people, all right? Unfortunately, they stay stuck there, all right? Now you have some that maybe they're not doing any of that illegal stuff, but they just won't be patient enough to go through fixing their credit, all right? You fix that personal credit. Now you're building that house on a solid foundation, not a house of sand. Because newsflash, banks now, today, see past all the AU authorized user crap and all these trade lines that you guys are buying. They can see through all of that stuff now, all right? So that stuff isn't as effective as it used to be anymore. The banks are seeing through that. They see that your score is artificial, it's inflated, all right? And that's why you guys are going for funding and you're still getting approved for only $5,000 limits, and you're getting mad at the company that's doing funding for you. It's not their fault, all right? It's a result of all the bad decisions that you guys made with your credit. That's the reflection. That's what the approval is reflecting, right? It's not because this person couldn't do funding well enough for you. And then sadly, here's another problem, all right? Now, when the funding professional tells them the root cause why they got low approvals, it's because of their personal credit, and they tell them the need to go back. Let's go back into the basics and fix that. The client still gets angry, and here's what they always do. They run back to the dark corners of the internet, to those people that do the sweeps, the illegal sweeps, and go ask them for funding. Now those people now will go do those illegal human trafficking sweeps and then go put all kinds of fake trade lines and charge them hundreds of thousands of dollars to put all kinds of fake stuff on their credit report, just because you won't be patient for a few months, maximum a year, to do it the right way. And now for a whole lifetime, you can apply and get 0% no interest or whatever it is. Instead, you're caught into this vicious cycle where you guys are trapped, always getting substandard products, always overpaying for an inflated credit report, and still never learning proper financial literacy and how to manage your finances properly. All right, these are the same people that, regardless of whether they sweep their credit 1,000 times, they still end up getting chargebacks and collections and repos all the time. They're stuck in that vicious cycle because they're not learning proper money management. All right, so which camp are you guys in? All right, I'm here to tell you guys, doesn't matter whatever camp you're in. All right, if you're in the first camp, guys, we can definitely help you. All right, the link's gonna be below this video. Apply, and if your credit's not good enough, we'll help you clean it and go take you guys for funding. I'm not a credit. We do credit repair. It's not our thing. We mostly do funding for people, but we will also help clean your credit if we need to get you prepared for funding. All right. Now, if you guys are on the other camp where you've done things the right way, your score is a 680 plus. All right, you already have a solid foundation. We would love to help you get the money you need to go out there and go execute business. So click the link below, speak to a member of our team. Let's see about getting you 0% interest credit cards and getting you guys the funding you deserve so you can go buy those businesses or create those businesses to fund your lifestyle. Thank you guys very much. I'll see you on the next video.